I'm Brian. Welcome to Builder Place. Today we are going to be unboxing, setting up, and demonstrating this VEVOR electric jackhammer. So let's go to work. I'm going to start with the jackhammer first, unboxing that. And then I'll do the cart was shipped in a separate box. So we'll do that after we get the jackhammer unboxed. And just they call it an electric pick. You're going to get it in 2 shipments is what they're saying. So you won't get, if you get the cart option, you're not going to get the cart along with it. It'll come separate. So that's all that's saying. Put it off the side. Got a pair of gloves, some work or some tooling, wrenches. Looks like maybe the operator's manual and an extra set of brushes, a dust mask. Looks like you got a cover for the chisel. You get a chisel. So that came off. You get a chisel. Another chisel. This is a pick. And should be a second pick. Okay, so you got 2 picks, 2 chisels, set of safety glasses, some lubricant, some kind, and this appears to be a handle coming out. Get my hand, it's in there pretty tight. They packed it in fairly good. Electric pick or a jackhammer. This is going to be kind of heavy. So I gotta get this out. Well, this thing does have a little weight to it. Oh, it's in there pretty tight, and it's heavy. I believe it's 60 pounds is what the spec says the jackhammer weighs. So let's get it over here on the bench so we can finish doing the assembly and installing the lubricants that need to be put in there. But this thing does have a little weight to it. Ow, got my hand. We'll have to install this handle. I'm assuming the tools that we got are for this handle. It has a hex drive. So we'll open this up. 4 fasteners. And one of these wrenches, I bet, will fit it. I'm going to guess it's this one. I'll probably get the wrong one. Nope, guess was right. The handle looks, well, no, it's not symmetrical. So it's got as you can see, it has a little bit of taper on that end. So I want to put that down just like it is on this side. The taper, this narrower area, whatever, the skinnier side is facing down. So just put that on there. We're going to start a screw in here. It's kind of, there it goes. It doesn't see, it's kind of tight going in there. And the wrench just barely almost hits the handle as you're tightening it up. So let's just get the other one started. It's a little bit tight going in, but that's fine. It goes in. And the wrench is really hitting there. So I think I want to find what size this is, and I want to get something to speed it on a little bit better. Pick the 5mm hex drive. That should make it a little bit faster going in. A little bit faster than using that Allen wrench, as you call it. I would call it an Allen wrench. Okay, I'm just going to put a socket drive on it. And do a little bit of torque. Doesn't need, I don't think it needs a lot of torque because you got a plastic part. You don't want to crack the plastic by tightening it down too much. It'd be bad for that. Now for the The grease on this, they call out a particular grease in the manual for mine. They want you to add the oil, or not the oil, the grease through this port. And I didn't see any evidence of any grease down in it. I mean, I took a Q-tip and there's a little bit of residue of some kind, but there's nothing that I see coming on the end of there besides some residue of any evidence of any grease. So, but it says that you don't need to add any grease for the first use. For the demonstration, I'm going to be hammering in concrete, so I picked the point chisel. And before you put chisels in, pretty much any kind of jackhammer, you always put some lubricant on it. It's always a good idea. And they gave you this advanced lubricant, which just seems like almost like wheel bearing grease is what it feels like. So I think you could probably get away with just using regular wheel bearing grease just to lube this up. And this is a 1 1/8" standard jackhammer bit. And now to install it, you want to release the locking mechanism, bring that up, and this flat needs to go up this way because there's going to be a bar in there that's going to hold it. So you just put it in, open it all the way till it goes in easy, bring it around to lock it, and that will lock. We're basically ready to go do some breaking of some concrete. Before we go out and demo this machine, I wanted to go over a couple of safety things real quick. Some important things in my opinion. There's other things you need to be concerned with also, but the main thing is wear a good pair of work boots. These are steel toe boots. They got a good thick sole. When you're working around demolition, you're going to have all kinds of rebar. You're going to have wire. You're going to have unstable surfaces. So a pair of high top work boots like this give you ankle support and protect you from the environment. The other thing is wear blue jeans, in my opinion, because that gives you a little protection from the wire or the rebar. So if you're wearing shorts, that's not going to work. Or if you're wearing Crocs or tennis shoes instead of work boots, you could get injured. The other thing is they gave you safety glasses. I use these. These are my personal safety glasses. They're just what I always use. And a respirator, if you're cutting into or breaking up concrete, there's silica in there that can cause major health issues. So the people that are around you working around this dust area where you're breaking up, especially if you're inside, should have some type of respirator to protect their lungs. The last thing I definitely recommend is hearing protection and gloves. For extension cord, I selected a number 12 wire for the extension because this thing draws 2100 watts. So that comes up to somewhere around 17 amps. So number 12 wire is good up to 20 amps. So you wouldn't want to go anything less than this to extend it. You don't want to go too far extending it either with cords. I mentioned earlier about the wire here. You see the wire sticking out. Hope you can see that. That's just a hazard, but with these boots, it's less of a hazard than if I was wearing something that wasn't like this. And so I picked a piece out of my scrap pile that's not a very big piece. It's about 4 inches thick. So we'll use that as our demo piece. So let's get started. I purchased the cart also with this, so we're going to see if we can put this cart together too real quick. It shouldn't take much to put this together. If you didn't get the cart, you just try to get chapters in and kind of show. Wow, this has got a lot of pieces. A lot of pieces. So I'll try to put chapters in so you can, I know you can't see me, but I'll put chapters in so that you can skip past all this if you don't have the cart, but we'll get all these pieces out and get the wheels. I mean, the cart made perfect sense to me because that way you have a place you can, it gives you a place to store it and it makes it easy to move around if you're going places. Well, off camera, I looked at the instructions a little bit. I think that I have it kind of figured out. So this will be your foot or your base. So this piece goes like here, and that needs to be pushed in a little bit. And then there's going to be 2 screws or 4 screws total holding this. So I'm thinking the screws, we'll run the, doesn't, well, it probably shows, but I want to run the screw heads to the front and the nut to the back. And that doesn't give me a lot of space back there for this. It's a self-locking nut. Right now I'm just going to use this Allen head to get these 4 started. It's a 5mm, so I just put a 5mm drive bit in there. This makes it a little easier than using that Allen or that right angle tool, Allen key, Allen wrench. I should have got a better wrench for this too. I didn't, it's 10mm, which is a very popular. So 10mm wrench probably work better if you had a decent wrench. Oh, you got a 10mm, see how it works. And that's kind of loose too. Okay, but we got a 10mm because the 8mm won't fit on there, the other's end. Okay, let's go to the next part. Got to put this piece that has a, it's a straight piece, but it's tapered down. That goes, I'll turn this around. One will go here, another go on the other side. And I want to do the same thing. I'm going to put the screw head out and the nut to the inside. Most of that I don't think it really matters which way you go. I don't think it's going to hit anything. This looks like a better fit because the nut is going to capture into threads, so it will lock better. Do the other one. Find the best we can. And it's nice that they had everything already. The washer nut or the washers and nut and the bolt all tied together, so you didn't have to unwrap everything. So everything is right there. All you just got to do is partially disassemble it. And I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave this loose for now. It doesn't say to tighten it or anything, but I'm going to leave this loose for right now. And next thing it says to put the tires on. So tires look. Oh wait, nope. Hold on. Put the spacers on first, and then the wheels. And I'm not seeing which way would be better. They're going to put it this way. Yeah, I think that's a better way with this has a little bit extended area on it, and this is more the flush side, so I think this is going to work better. And then there's a cotter pin to put on there. Stick that on there. Do the other side the same way. Spacer sleeves, install the handle and bend support. So the handle goes like this, and it has pins that you push down, friction pins. Put that on, and this has the same push type pin. Okay, now we got this piece, and that locks into there, and then there's going to be a screw up there. This goes in here. There's a piece you push down, that locks in, and then we'll have a screw up there. I'm going to turn it. I'll turn it like this. I guess you'll be able to see it pretty good. And I'll put these 2 screws in, and then I'll tighten up all 4 of the screws after that. Get this cotter pin on this side, stick it in, and I just got a pair of pliers. We'll bring it around to lock it. I'll lock it all the way around. I don't know if I got pliers good enough to open up. Yeah, open up enough. Fully lock it around, it ain't gonna go anywhere, but okay, that's all done. So, got caught on something. All right, there's the cart. That's all put together. Ready, you can put the jackhammer on it, and it comes with a strap. With a strap to strap it in. 2 strap places. And when you want to transport it, that's how you transport it. Now you got the cart all together. Makes it nice. You can put your bits all in a holder here. Keep them nice and organized. Hammer just goes in that rod that's sticking up, and you have a strap. Now to attach the strap, you're going to have to run it around the tool. I run it around all the way, and then back around and latch into that piece that holds it in. And then for cord storage, the cart gives you provisions for wrapping the power cord up. Convenient storage of the cord out of the way. To remove the bit, first make sure you get the power disconnected. Lift up on this release mechanism until it goes out almost touching the bit. Remove the bit and close it. I have to close this because mine goes on a stand. Close that. And I normally clean all the residue off the bit and grease in the dirt. Since I have the cart, just return it back to the open spot on the cart. The sticker here says machine must be filled with grease, and you have to fill it after the first time. So I have the grease that I'm going to use the mobile. And I don't have an extra grease gun for this, so I'm just using a spatula, and I'm going to try to spatula this grease into this. I think it'll fill it up. It says to fill it up. So I'm just going to keep spatulaing it in there. And that seems to work okay, filling it up with grease. Best I can then. Yeah, I think it's pretty well filled up. It doesn't seem like it wants to take much more. Take this old rag, wipe out everything around it. Don't want to mess with that grease all everywhere. That'll get dusty and dirty. So if you keep this outside the housing as dry as you can, it'll eliminate the dust that'll accumulate around it. I'm going to have to get maybe I'll put the plug back on, and then I'll take something to get in this area here and get that grease. So it's fully charged. I think we're good for running it again. I have a small job I'll use it for, and run it for that, and then come back and grease it up again. So I know I don't want this thing to give good life. To keep the wrench with this kit, what I decided to do is get a carabiner and put the wrench on a carabiner along with the spatula that I use to fill it with grease. That way when I need to do it again, it's right here with the tool, and I just clip it to that. That's the VEVOR electric jackhammer in action. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to Build a Place, and leave comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.